The world ended. Didn't you get the memo?
What do you suggest?
You're listening to Dead Air on 89.5 The Wave, KCFB Ferguson.
Think about something else. Puppies and kittens. Dead puppies and kittens.
That is right. You are listening to Dead Air here on 89.5 The Wave, and I am your host, JazzHandss, back for another episode of Dead Air, and I'm so stoked. I mean, the season 6 right now is getting better and better and better, like as time goes on. I'm absolutely loving what season 6 is kind of bringing us. It's just me right now, your friendly neighborhood DJ JazzHandss. I'm just hanging out right now by myself, but we should have some more people in here a little bit later, and we're gonna have a full-length kind of discussion about last Sunday's epic Walking Dead episode. Spoiler warning right now, we will be giving spoilers from the episode titled Now. So we're going to be ready for that, because there will be a little bit of spoilers. So because it's just me, I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about what I thought of the overall episode as a whole, and then we're going to get into the little individual pieces as more people kind of trickle in and get here into the studio and start really talking. I absolutely love the episode. It surprisingly, I thought it was going to keep kind of ramping up, and in a sense it did, but the episode kind of was another one of those slower episodes, a lot more character driven episodes, which I always love. I love character driven episodes when they serve to have a purpose, and when they make a point, if that makes sense. I'm all for like the violence, the running from the zombies, the fighting and stuff, but I love slow episodes as long as they have a certain point to them. If it's a slow episode for slow episode's sake, yes, that can get kind of boring. But I don't think The Walking Dead, except maybe for exceptions, some Beth episodes that I never really liked, has ever really slowed down and not actually had a main point to it. There was a lot of character development within this episode. I mean, we had Deanna kind of go through a lot of character development. Like, Deanna went through a whole lot. We also had Ron, Jesse's son. Jesse herself went through some character development. Within this one episode, there was a lot more character development than I initially thought there would be, and we kind of need that right now because, as the season in and of itself, there is a lot of kind of craziness right now. There's a lot of running. You're running from walkers. You have to deal with this horde that was at the quarry, and then the wolf attack. It's been building, but, and as cool as all that stuff is, if you don't have the proper character development within a season, then it doesn't feel like your characters have moved forward at all, and it still feels like season 6 is still kind of at the same place as, let's say, season 5 was. So I do like when these episodes slow down a lot more, and you can really kind of take your time and build really good character developments in and of itself, and have fun with these certain characters. The characters in and of, like, the characters are, for one, amazing. I don't think there's a bad character within the bunch. I mean, there's bad, but they're all interesting and intriguing, and that's where I feel the episodes like these definitely do shine in, and they're allowed to start setting stuff up that that comes and pays off a little bit later. It's not all set up, and they definitely give you some juiciness in between. I mean, when Rick first showed up and was just running towards the gate, and you see that walker horde behind him, you freak out because you're like, oh man, it's at the gate. What? Oh man! Like, now it's like Alexandria is not safe. It wasn't safe during the wolf storm or the wolf attack, and it's not safe now. I mean, essentially, the first, what is it? This is episode 5 now, I believe. First one, then we had the second one was a wolf attack, then third was thank you, then fourth. Yeah, so this is episode 5. I'm trying to sound cool, aren't I? But, yeah, so this is episode 5, and we've had constant running, but it's all been in the span of a day. So these characters have had a very long, rough day, but the episode in and of itself was, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite. I still think one of my favorites might be last week's with Morgan, or even maybe the wolf attack or thank you. I know thank you is like, why would you like thank you? That's when we possibly could have lost one of our favorite characters, Glenn. It's kind of it's because there's such speculation behind it, and you're so worried, and we don't know what's happening. And I mean, like later on, when we kind of get more people together and talking, that's kind of what I'm going to go over a little bit more about. Could Glenn still be dead? I mean, we don't know, especially kind of with Maggie, which, okay, first off, I'm just going to say this right off. Pick up the phone, because I called it. I don't think anybody was really super surprised or shocked that Maggie's pregnant. I think we all kind of got hints from the first episode when Glenn wanted her to stay behind. We've been kind of speculating for a while now if she could be pregnant, so this didn't really come as such a major surprise to me in and of itself. It's like, it's nice that they kind of finally admitted it and they're moving forward with it. And so with her whole character development in and of itself, and not, and her whole way of kind of thinking and being, of not really sure and not understanding if we get to find out if Glenn's alive or dead, sometimes we just don't get to know. I don't know if that's confirmation that, boom, Glenn is dead, and we have to deal with that fate now, and unfortunately, we're never going to get to know. I think we're going to find out eventually, but for right now, we'll never get, we might not get to know, and maybe Glenn, maybe we won't. Maybe we won't know. Maybe Glenn's alive somewhere out there, unable to get back, but I mean, if he was alive, he would definitely try to get back to Maggie as quickly as he can, as fast as he can, because he loves her. But you know, we don't know. We might not get to know, and I think that's strong. And who's to say if that's, you know, her not giving up hope, or her pretty much saying sometimes we don't get to know, so that's the end. You know, Glenn might be gone. Who knows? But like I've said, there's a lot of character development in this episode, so much. I mean, Aaron had some pretty big moments in and of itself, too, because his whole speech about how he openly, there wasn't any speculation, he openly told the people, I was the one that put the wolves here. I was the one that left my pack. I wanted to do this. Daryl wanted to keep searching. I wanted to do this. I'm the reason for the wolf attack. I led them here. For me, that shows some cojones. That's really, really strong. And that's really, really brave of them, because essentially everybody if the Walker Horde wasn't there and they found out, you know, because let's face it, there's some stingy people in there, people. There's some people that aren't very as kind as, say, Rick, if you can consider Rick kind, because I mean, you know, he'll kill you, but he'll give you at least a reason. But I could see people threatening to even kick him out because he messed up so bad, even though he's done a mountain of good. And this kind of like goes well on people in and of itself. You can do a mountain of good things, but the one bad thing you do, that's going to be the thing that kind of sticks out and everybody remembers. And it's sad that happens, but yeah, especially in this world now where, you know, people can die left and right. People can die just kind of left and right, and you have to be remindful. Ooh, I kind of hit the mouse pad here, my bad. But you have to kind of be remindful in this world that there are people out there that aren't as friendly, that want to hurt you, that want to kill you, and they'll do whatever it takes to get to you and to kill you. And you don't want to kind of leave any trails to your safe place because stuff like this happens. So I thought that was very, very brave of Aaron to actually kind of talk about and to bring forward about what how he feels, and to let people know. And could that get him into trouble because of how he wanted to help Maggie later on? Maybe. He seems very, very eager and very, very... At first, he seemed very, very eager and very, very determined. And not stupid. I mean, I can understand that he wants redemption. And again, this is what we were talking about with redemption. This whole entire season seems to be more about redemption and the minuses and pluses of allowing somebody to live and allowing somebody to die and everything like that. So this season in and of itself has been nothing but redemption. And Aaron, I think, really wants to try to find redemption and wants to give his redemption or try to get redemption back. And so he's going to go about it and try to do whatever he can to save people. That's not a bad thing. However, it could also be kind of stupid, because it's stupid in a way that you're going to try to help people so much that you're going to mess up, if that makes sense. You're going to try to want to save so many people and do everything else, but because of that, you're going to mess up. You're going to get sloppy. You're not going to be on point. You're going to be trying everything too hard. You're going to be doing everything all at once, and then when stuff really hits the fan and people need you, you're not going to be able to do that because you've been doing everything else and you're sloppy. I've heard once, I'd rather whole ass something than half ass a lot of stuff. You know, I'd rather put my time and focus and energy in on one particular thing than multiple different little things and have those 50-50, but then have that one big thing really, really good. I don't know, that's just little wisdom from JazzHandss, nothing too much. But within this episode, it was definitely powerful. Who knows what the Alexandrians are going to do now with the walkers right outside their gate. I mean, it seems like a lot of them are kind of, you know, coming into their characters, if that makes sense. They're really becoming more kind of not like Rick's group, but like Rick's group. I keep doing that. I keep saying not like Rick's group or not like something, but it is something. So I'm going to stop that because that's starting to annoy me too. I apologize, but they're starting to really actually kind of become more like Rick's group and realize that this world is dangerous. And you know, it within certain situations, and this is just like human life in and of itself too. Every single person, whenever something happens, something tragic happens, it either makes or breaks you. You either become a hero or you, not like a hero, but you become something that, or someone that really tries to go in and help, or you become somebody that can't do anything and sits on the sidelines. It's not a bad thing if you're sitting on the sidelines, but it's showing in this place where you either learn to adapt to this world and evolve and become somebody that can fight, or you're just gonna sit around and wait to die. And I think that's what Rick's really trying to get apart to these people, that, you know, it's okay to have lazy Sundays where you kind of sit around on the porch, drink some ice cold green tea, watch the sunset, listen to the birds chirping off in the distance, you know, relax. It's okay to have that. But you better be ready, because in a second, walkers could be breaking down the gate and you need to get ready and you need to go and you need to fight. And you need to fight to allow yourself to relax. That's at least what I got out of it, and it seems like a lot of people in Alexandria are slowly starting to come to terms, at least the ones that really, really want to survive. We also had, real quick too, Walking Dead, thank you for totally bumming me out, more so than with Glenn, because the subtlenesses that you do is just, it's heartbreaking. Okay, so we had, everybody who's watched the episode knows when Jesse, Rick's new girlfriend, who, it's official, they kissed the girl, yay, awesome, weird, but when she killed the walker, that turned inside the house, I thought when I first saw that, oh, maybe it's a wolf attack, maybe it's something, but then later on Talking Dead, they confirmed that that's that one guy who, if you remember in Thank You, the episode Thank You, where Michonne was trying to get back and he got bit, and he said, oh, you know, I met somebody after the outbreak, my wife after the outbreak, and we lost everything, and we kind of found each other, and we fell in love, and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Whoops. I hit something that I shouldn't have, but we're okay now. But the guy, I forget his name, and this is why I need other people around, because I'm horrible with names. Very, very horrible with names, but you get other people around, they'll tell you names like that. But my point is, if you remember that guy who got bit with Michonne, who wrote the letter to his wife and handed it to Michonne, and Michonne said, no, you're going home, and he eventually didn't, unfortunately, that was his wife in the house. So she found out that her husband died and killed herself. That's tragic. That's like the little side story where, wow, that's just so sad. That is just so sad to me. It's such a bummer because, like, and, you know, first off, props to a show that can do that where you have characters that you kind of introduce as side characters or even just background characters, and they have full-length stories in and of themselves and tragedy in and of itself. Like, that's why I think this show is fantastic, because every character you meet has a backstory. Has this sort of feel to them where they're just not there. I mean, yeah, you get the people that go up against Rick and say, why are we listening to this guy? It doesn't make any sense to listen to him. He's not important. People like that, who kind of run into Rick, who die kind of randomly, but then you get other characters that really do feel like they have a backstory and that you're almost interested in wondering what's going to happen with them or what is happening with them, you know? So, sorry, I was, something caught in my throat, but yeah, The Walking Dead does a fantastic job with that, and this episode really did, show how good of a character development they can be. I mean, from Tara and her new girlfriend, which I am very sorry for this. I'm probably going to get, hated for it a little bit, but I can't tell Tara's, I guess love interest or her new girlfriend or the woman that kissed her, the doctor, and that one lady with black hair. I can't tell them apart. They kind of look the exact same to me. I don't know if they're twins, if that's supposed to be a thing, if I'm just being stupid. I don't know. JazzHandss is, JazzHandss has been known to be kind of stupid sometimes, but, I don't know. Those two just really look alike and stuff. But The Walking Dead, this episode was really, really good. I absolutely loved it. I'm wondering, I want to know what kind of happens with Deanna. Because she just seems like she's kind of losing it a little bit. She seems like she's really kind of I don't know, because I know I sound confused, and I kind of am, because I don't know how to describe herself, or describe it. I'm sorry, I looked out the window and somebody was laughing at me. I was used to it. But no, I don't know where she's at right now. Because she wants to survive, but it seems like she doesn't want to lead. And she really needs to. She needs to lead. It needs to be her and Rick in this world, running it and working it together and moving forward. She needs to be the one that really. Because we've been saying it. I've been saying it. Paul's been saying it. We've all been saying it. She's the face, and Rick is the muscle. And, Rick's a great leader in how to survive, but you need a balance of proper survival and hope. You need that hope. You need to have that. I hope for a better tomorrow. I hope that we can expand the walls, that we can become a bigger community, that we can invite more people in, and pretty much live life like we used to. We need to have that world, and Deanna's one to do that. Her son's an ass. I'm gonna say that right now, and so much other stuff. And we're all gonna kind of get in, and I'm gonna get into a lot more of it. I know we took a lot of time first, but I'm gonna get into a lot more of that here coming up. Hopefully, we'll have some more people around. If not, it's just gonna be me talking to you guys and actually kind of going over what I thought of the episode, kind of bit by bit, of character development and what I liked. So stay tuned, everybody, because I will be back taking a quick break, but Dead Air will return shortly. Be back in a bit, guys.
We gotta go, Beth. We gotta go.
Stay tuned for more Dead Air on 89.5 The Wave with JazzHandss.
That is right. We are back here with Dead Air on 89.5 The Wave, KCFB, and I am your host, your friendly neighborhood jazz hands. I meant to throw in another song in there to give myself a little bit of a longer break. But you know what? This is how things go. We are back, and I am more than happy. It's still just me. It's probably just going to be me through the entire show. So not going to be a super long one this time, but I'm still going to kind of talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. So kind of let's dive into it. Deanna. I am going a mile a minute, aren't I? Okay. Now, Deanna had a lot of character development within this episode. I mean, I don't really know, like I said a little bit earlier, where she's at. She seems that she wants to fight, but she seems like she also doesn't want to lead, or that people are blaming her for the wolf attack and for this everything happening. And I think confirmation from her son, Spencer? Yes. Her son, Spencer, I think that really nailed home. And I don't know if it's dangerous for her or what, because this is kind of what I was talking about a little bit earlier with Aaron, where because he wants redemption and because he wants to prove himself so much, he's going to put himself in more danger than he actually needs to, and he's going to get himself hurt. And I feel maybe Deanna might be doing that, to where, I mean, from the first start of her kind of wandering around, and, she went through, I feel bad. I just want to give that poor woman a hug. I just want to give that poor woman a hug. She seems that she just needs a hug. And I want to give her one, because I felt so bad. Because you see her kind of wandering around the town, really kind of sad. I mean, she just lost her husband. She just lost her son, and then this attack happens, and she's just kind of wandering around, and then she kind of sees Spencer really kind of take charge, and I think that was like, because she started to kind of like, I felt she almost started to come back from it. I felt that she almost started to come back from it and really be like, hey, my teachings and what I wanted for this place really wasn't stupid. It's working. My son's proving it. I did good. Fine. I did good. Something I did right. My one son, yes, he was kind of an ass, but I did right with this one. And she feels bad. And then when Spencer pulls that crap in the kitchen, and pretty much just blames her for everything that bad happens, I think that was crushing for her again and really sent her into a spiral. I think she's more dangerous now more than ever. But that's still not like a lot of danger. And dangerous in the way that because she wants to fight, because she wants to fight, it's gonna kind of, I feel, be kind of like Beth, where you're gonna put yourself in more danger than you actually need to. And stuff that could have been settled and walked away from, you're going to mess up and get yourself killed. Could that result in maybe Carl losing his eye? Because I know in the comic books, Carl gets shot in a fight in Alexandria. So could Carl maybe lose his eye from Deanna wanting really hard to save? Or could it be Ron? Jesse's oldest son. Ron in this episode, and that's an awesome transition. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Jazz hands. But no, Ron in this episode really was, I don't know what I want to think, because you see him kind of eyeballing Carl in the opening when Rick's giving his speech, and kind of reaches for his knife. Like how he wants to actually attack Carl. Right then and there. But then they kind of, later on, they get into that argument, and he's just like, I'm going to tell your dad, Carl. I'm going to tell your dad. I'm going to try to, I'll save you, Carl. I'll save you. That was really, and then he's kind of learning to shoot with Rick. Now, I don't know. I take this as two things. Either one, he's kind of actually coming around and really kind of finding his own voice in this world. And after watching his mom fight against the one wolf and stab her, he's kind of now like, I think I should fight, not for myself, but to protect the people I care about, because I know that I need to protect them now. I can see that, and that Carl and his dad and everybody are kind of right. I need to really protect myself and my family within this world. So I need to really learn how to protect myself. Or, and this is the bad side, because there's the optimist side of me that's like, I really hope he's for the good. I hope he wants to just protect himself, protect Alexandria, protect his mom, his little brother, and anybody else he really cares about. The darker side of me says and thinks that he is going to be using the skills that Rick taught him to try and attack Carl. Because I think, I mean, even if your dad's an a-hole, you're still going to have resentment towards the guy that killed your father, even if his intentions were good and for protecting, and even if your dad caused, you know, it kind of like bought it on himself, you're still going to hold resentment there. And I could see, voices, but no, I could see Ron really trying to mess up and or use the skills that Rick's teaching him to attack Carl and maybe even to attack Rick. I could see this being a problem, and I could see maybe that's what happens to Carl if he loses his eye. I don't know, like, because we've been kind of talking about it back and forth, and everybody's like, oh, was Rick going to lose his hand or anything, which I don't think he is. I don't think that scratch is going to make him lose his hand, because he seemed fine this episode with his hand. If they were going to let him lose his hand or have him lose his hand, it would either be quick he lost it, or he'd be like, oh, my hand really hurts, and just kind of messing with it a lot more. He still could, I don't know, but I don't think he's going to. If they didn't do it now, or if they didn't do it this episode, I don't think they're going to, because that'd be a lot of money in green screen and stuff, and then you actually have to worry. And I actually heard that the writer of The Walking Dead, Scott M. Gimple, I think. I'm horrible with names again, I'm sorry. But he said that he actually regrets Rick losing his hand in the Walking Dead comic, because it's a lot harder to draw and remember for him to get out of stuff. I mean, if he falls down a pit, it's not him, oh, well, now he can just kind of climb out of it. It's, how are we going to get him? I mean, he has one hand. He can kind of climb with one hand, but it becomes a lot more challenging to draw within that, and then to animate, or not animate, but then to actually act like that, and then you're having to constantly green screen his hand out and stuff. And yeah, maybe they can give him a little Sheriff Rick, you know, the sheriff. It's like Little Merle, you know, his knife sword, but instead it's just like it's a gun arm. That'd be badass. But no, I don't know. Carl losing his eye, maybe. I mean, you can easily do that with eye patches. Who knows? I could see Carl losing his eye more than I can see Rick losing his hand. And so I think Carl losing his eye, I could possibly see that up in this upcoming episode, or not episode, mid-season finale. I could see him getting hit and losing his eye, and then they're gonna leave us. Oh, did they just kill off Carl? What? So, I could see that kind of happening, and you know, coming into fruition, if not. So, another thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit is, I mean, Jessie in this episode has gone through leaps and bounds with her character, and you know, finally her and Rick are finally kissing, you know, which was awesome. I mean, I guess, I don't know, I still ship Rick and Michonne, but I mean, that's just me, like, so I don't, you know, but I'm, you know, I'm kind of glad that they're now not tiptoeing around that. Okay, these guys like each other. They like each other. Come on. Like, I'm glad that they kind of now, they kissed. I don't know if that means that, I mean, it could go two ways. It could be, hey, now they're actually open relationship, or it could be she doesn't know. Maybe this is what's going to set Ron off even more, because it's like, okay, you killed my father. Then you try to get with my ma, and you bought this horde on. No, I'm going to go after Carl. I'm going to kill Carl. You also got rid of my girlfriend, Judith. Not Judith. Whoa, that'd be weird. Strike that. Nope. Edith? Edith? Yes, Edith. too many cooks, girl. So I don't know. That's one thing. That's at least one little option that I feel could possibly happen and kind of bring everything into the forefront. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, of course, let's get to Maggie, because Maggie is one of the bigger ones in this episode who, I mean, I talked about her a little bit earlier, but I really want to talk about her again because she has had such big character development, even within this one episode. And I like that her and Aaron are now, like, they're best friends. They're besties. I love Aaron. I really didn't like, or I thought he was okay through the first part, but now, I don't know, because of this episode, I like him a lot more now. But we're talking about Maggie. So, no big shock to anybody. Maggie was pregnant, yes. That's pretty much also a nail in the coffin that Glenn is, another nail in the coffin, pardon my pun, but that Glenn is dead. I know that the comic books and that the TV show are different, but within the same formula, it just seems like how The Walking Dead works. It wouldn't surprise me if Glenn is now actually dead because Maggie told. But I don't know. I actually hope that we actually get, Maggie and Glenn, just, I want them to have a happy life. You want these characters to have happy lives. You want them to know that they're going to survive and to live. And you want that. And so I'm hoping for the best, but I'm also preparing for the worst. I liked that she is, Maggie's Maggie. She wanted to go find Glenn. And of course, Aaron, wanting to have redemption, wanted to go for him. Wanted to help her. And she was gonna go help him at any cost, or try to find him at any cost. She couldn't believe it. And I like this too, because I feel that this is very human in and of itself as well. I know I'm getting kind of preachy in philosophy-ish, and I'll stop here in a little bit, but it's very human to kind of go through these emotions of, even if the person's safe, of doubt and then hope and then doubt and then hope and then doubt and then hope. Like, everybody kind of has that. Even if somebody's alive, you go through these emotions of everything's going to be fine. Maybe it's not going to be fine. Maybe this is going to be it. No, it's going to be fine. I have to be strong for them. I don't know. Can I be strong for them? Yeah, it's a human thing. And so I like that Maggie was reflecting that, in which she was very much, he's alive and I got to go find him. Maybe we won't know if he's alive. Maybe he's dead. I could, I don't know. And then kind of accepting of, we won't get to know. I'm not going to give up hope that he is alive, but I can't go out there and find him because I have to stay here. I could play this scenario out a million different times in my head, and I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if I can keep hoping or not. I have to, not if I can keep hoping, but I don't know if he's out there. I need to keep hoping. And I think that's very strong of Maggie, especially when she wipes him out and wipes the name out from the thing. And I think this is actually really strong for every character, because Glenn's death really did a number on a lot of people. And even like Rick, okay, we've experienced a lot of death in this show. I mean, a lot of death. And I don't know, I just felt it was like such a sad and kind of fun, not fun, but it was such a sad scene. Not as an emotion, like, oh, boo-hoo, but it was just like, oh, man. Like, when Rick walked up to Jesse, and he was just like, look, the reason I don't want to bury people in the graveyard is because Glenn's still out there. We don't know if he's alive or dead. I'm waiting for him to come home. That, to me, like, that scene, it's like, this dude is so sad. They have an awesome bromance, sort of, in a way. And he's missing his boy, He's sad because his friend's not here. His friends, he doesn't know what's happened. And I don't know, that scene, to me, like, Glenn's death has really been affecting a lot of people in the show and out of the show. it becomes a game around here after we see an episode of, do you think he's alive? I don't know. And it's fun to actually really sit down and talk to all these other people. Unfortunately, they're not here right now, but who flip-flop back and forth to see it. I don't know, maybe Glenn's alive, maybe he's dead, to get that hope back, to not know. And I think Maggie in this episode is definitely reflecting off of what we all feel. Yes, he's alive. No, maybe he's dead. Yes, he's alive. Oh, he's definitely dead. He's definitely alive. Like, it's back and forth, and you don't know. And I was talking to Paul a little bit earlier. If you tune in regularly, he's a pretty much regular on the show. But I was talking to Paul earlier, and he said that The Walking Dead is very famous because they red herring a lot of stuff where you think something's going one way and then it goes another. Or you think, oh, this character is so screwed. Oh, nope, he's fine. All right. Or, you think that. So it wouldn't be at all possible if The Walking Dead's like, okay, we're going to make it out to where you're going to think that, oh, Glenn's definitely alive. There's no way he's dead. Glenn is alive. But then the result is he's actually dead. I mean, there's two ways you can go about it. I don't know. I miss the dumbass. I think we all really miss him, and I can't wait to kind of see his story kind of continue if it does, or if not, then, it is what it is. But I think we're going to know by mid-season finale, if not next season, if Glenn's alive or not. So I actually want to talk about what I think is going to happen next within the episode. So, I mean, because we're almost done now. I've kind of talked about all I really kind of felt that I should talk about. I mean, I don't think I'm missing anybody. Oh, well, let me talk about this, and then I think we'll get to what I think is going to happen next episode. Tara and her new girlfriend in this episode. And this is reflecting, I think I said this a little bit earlier, is reflecting a lot about the Tom people, or the townspeople, of their either coming into this, hey, I'm going to survive, or they're not. And I think Tara with the doctor really did show, I think that really represented it, that these characters of of our group in The Walking Dead are now pushing other characters forward into becoming stronger survivor characters. You can't lose your humanity in that way, but there's that. And so, this episode was very, very lovey-dovey. Two people kissed each other, Aaron is now, Maggie's BFF Jill, and, Maggie's pregnant. So there was a lot that kind of happened, Deanna and Spencer. Honestly, okay, I want to talk about Spencer, Spencer, yes. I want to talk about Spencer real quick because he is such a jerk. I did not like him. I really started to like him in the beginning of the episode when he did his speech. I'm like, okay, this guy, I think he gets it. But then he's starting to fall back into his ways of, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. I'm, he's a jerk. I don't like him. I stopped the truck. Look at me. I'm getting drunk. It's your fault. I don't like him. I can't wait for him to die. Unless he turns around, which I don't think he will. He's going to be very, very dangerous because he's going to be looking out for himself and not everybody else. And that's going to be dangerous. And the fact that everybody thinks that he's looking out for everybody and that they can trust him, but he's not, that's dangerous. So, okay, next episode, because we got the kind of clip from Daryl, I was talking about it a little bit earlier. I think that what's going to happen is Daryl is going to, it looks like that group's going to get in trouble, and I have a theory. And now, stick with me, this is another JazzHandss theory, da-da-da-da-da-da. But I think that what's going to happen to the group is they're somehow going to run into the Saviors, which is the next big kind of bad guy group, which has Negan. Also stay tuned because I actually got big news from Walking Dead that we need to talk about. So, anyway, yes, there's these characters that come in that are the bigger, badder group, make the wolves look like nothing. So, I think that maybe this is going to be the Inklink, and I think that he might run into that Daryl might run into this character named Dwight, who is a part of the Saviors, and I think maybe Dwight... me and my brother were talking, we don't know. We think he's either going to... we think either Daryl's going to become this character named Dwight and get some of his face burned, or Dwight's going to find him, steal his coat, and then go back to Alexandria, and we're not going to see this group. Again, I think these are going to be another separation. People are going to get lost. I don't know, but next episode should definitely be a really good one. And, like I was saying a little bit earlier, the big news, which I've been waiting for forever, and I heard we're supposed to get him at the end of the season. I'm excited, and when I see him, I actually want to try to record the season finale of, just myself and my reaction, because it's going to be crazy. I would love to do that, have a viewing party with a bunch of the people and post that online. That'd be so much fun, but it seems like Jeffrey Dunham Morgan? Hold on. Yeah, Jeffrey Denham Morgan. He was, I believe he was the one that played, he's been in a couple stuff, but he was also in, I believe Supernatural, and he played Sam and Dean's dad. There has been rumors and stuff that he has been casted as the big, the bad, the Negan. So Negan is on his way. I heard that we're supposed to be getting him at the end of the season. I'm excited for it. I've been waiting for him for 3 seasons now. I've been wanting him in. So yes, and when that happens, I'm going to, I'm like that guy where people are like, I'm like, oh, this is going to happen, watch out, because this is going to happen, and everyone's like, oh, you're crazy, the world's never going to end, and then when it happens, it's like, I was right. What are you going to do now? Woo! But, no, so that's big news. I'm excited, and if Negan's coming in, then it means that my little theory about the group with the walkers running into some of the Saviors and kind of getting them started to get set up is going to be big. One person at the 11th hour running, you're lucky, because I was almost about to end it.
I have to do a mea culpa.
Go for it.
I think Glenn's dead.
You think Glenn's dead?
I don't know. Okay, first off, awesome episode.
Yes.
I mean, just really, really amazing. One, I'm afraid of this week. I'm afraid they're going to flash back to how Rick got back to Alexandria.
Yeah, I mean, because they tend to do that a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that I really want to know. They've left us another week on the whole, is Glenn dead? Is Glenn not dead?
Yep.
And they tend to do this whole psychological reverse psychology.
Yep. I mentioned that a little bit earlier, that you said that.
And it's driving me nuts. It's like, we took his name out of the credits. Oh, he's totally alive. We scrubbed his name off the wall of the people who've died. Oh, crap, now he's dead.
Yeah.
Wait, no. They're doing that to make us think he's dead, but he's... Wait. And, yeah, they have messed with my head so much.
Yeah, and it's like I said a little bit earlier, like, because maybe Maggie's, like, sometimes we just don't get to know. It could be possible that he's dead and we just don't get to know.
Well, and this could mean, with the pregnancy announcement, that could be a little bit of Glenn. You will be seeing part of Glenn.
Yep.
It's like, oh, dude, that's a crappy way to do it.
Yep, on little baby Aaron or Aaron.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome when Aaron said, depending on the spelling, Aaron can go for either a boy or a girl.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
saying.
Yep. And I was also we were talking a little bit about the big announcement.
I'm surprised you didn't bring in like party hats and noisemakers.
I said I was actually thinking about because you know what's really fun to do if you're bored? Watch people's reaction, because sometimes people will videotape themselves watching The Walking Dead. I've seen about like 20 different videos of people reacting to Glenn's supposed death. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It is.
I'm also kind of sick in the head though.
He is.
But Negan is right now. How do you say that?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Okay.
Yeah, which he's been, let's see, probably the most well-recognized amongst people who are going to watch shows like The Walking Dead, is going to be as John Winchester in Supernatural.
Yeah.
He was the dad.
Yeah.
Those who are comic nerds are going to know him from the Watchmen movie adaptation that Zack Snyder did. He was the comedian. He has been in everything.
Yeah. And I think I really think he'll do a good job.
He's very, very good at being without morals.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the John Winchester character was a very, very morally ambiguous character, but the comedian in Watchmen was just, he knew everything was a complete and utter joke, and that was the thing. He was in on the joke. He had no morals. He, I don't care. I'll kill him. Put him in front of me. I think he's going to do well.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how they're going to introduce him.
Yeah, and that's where I was talking about my little theory about this next episode. Maybe they run into Dwight. Maybe they run into some of the saviors, and we start setting it up a little bit.
I think if nothing else, because it does look like Daryl runs into somebody.
Yeah, it seems like they run into a group or they run into something.
And at first, I was thinking it was the main population of the wolves.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much through with the wolves.
I could see us being done with them too, yeah.
As much as I hate to say it, the wolves to me don't seem to be as big a threat, but I think they needed the wolves as a buffer between the Alexandrians. Oh, we've got walls and electricity and tea and everything is lovely, and the saviors and the brutality of Negan.
Yeah.
I think you needed an in-between. I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed because I think the wolves had a very, very big potential to be really, really good.
Yeah.
But for what they appear to be used for, as sort of we're going to prove to the Alexandrians that, yeah, maybe you don't have it all together.
Yeah.
And you can be attacked when you're weak,
yeah.
Which is when everyone was gone, that's what they did. And then to move from that onto, give them a little bit of time to rebuild. I think they're going to be rebuilding, dealing with this leftover horde, the half horde, whatever. I think we may see signs of the saviors in this next episode or the episode after that, depending.
Yeah, because we got, 3 episodes left?
3 left until the midseason.
Yeah, so...
But then I don't think we're going to see Negan until about halfway through 6-2.
Halfway through, if not at the end of 6-2, like they did with Michonne.
I think they're going to bring him in.
Because and this is where Walking Dead could very well be misdirecting us. They could be like, oh yeah, but he could have been on set. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
Could have been on set way beforehand and just been low key, and they've been.
Yeah, but they've been spotting people. I mean, they've been spotting Paul Jesus Ramirez, I believe I can't think of the last name, but it goes by Jesus.
Uh-huh.
They've spotted a character that looks a lot like him.
Yeah.
And he's been working with Glenn.
Yeah, so but could that be a flashback?
Could that be? Well, no, because they're talking very similar to the scenes where Glenn and Nicholas were. Uh-huh. They're talking the set that they've been shooting is very similar to that. So it's that town. Okay. So I mean, I can't see flashback. But. So I mean, people are really, really good at spotting actors on set if they're in character. If Jeffrey Dean Morgan's been kind of hanging around, but not in any character, because as far as I know, he was not much on the radar. Most of the ones that I heard were John Hamm. Who was the other? There was like one or two other guys that I heard really, really thrown about as Negan.
I think the one guy from Sons of Anarchy. He was like this Aryan guy, like this. Yeah, I think season 2.
No. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Why can't I think of him? But I know who you're talking about, and I can agree with you. Uh-huh. But to the best of my knowledge, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was not really even being thrown about for the role of Negan.
Real quick, you're listening to KCFV 89.5 The Wave, KCFV Ferguson. You're listening to Dead Air. We're going a little bit over because Paul jumped in at the last.
I'm sorry, it's my fault.
At the 11th hour, I was like literally wrapping it up, and then all of a sudden,
and then you hear somebody opening the door, going, "Who's messing up my?" Oh, it's him. Never mind. I can't yell at him.
Yeah, it's
you
fine.
Can. It's cool.
Well, it's fine because like now we can't get into kind of the stuff that I wanted to talk about, but we can kind of get into the predictions and what we're going to think of next episode and stuff and wrap it up.
See, I can't even fathom next episode because now that they've made the Negan announcement, I think we're starting to go into longer range speculation now.
Yeah,
I do think I like your idea. I think we may end up Daryl and was it Dwight?
Yeah. Dwight's a character from the comic book who has a burnt face, and I think when the Walking Dead TV show really started getting popular, I think that might have been when Negan was either introduced or something was going on. But they pretty much, I think, teased or what's his name? Creator of the comic.
Oh, Robert Kirkman.
Thank you. Robert Kirkman teased, and he was like, "Oh, Daryl might be in this comic," because Daryl hasn't been in the comics, and it was just a picture of a guy with the same kind of vest that Daryl has with the angel wings, holding a gun, with just the back of him, and everybody flipped out, and of course it wasn't him. But I'm wondering if somehow this character Dwight, it ended up being Dwight. I'm wondering if this character Dwight runs into these characters and then steals, Daryl's vest, and it wouldn't surprise me if these characters, oh my gosh, dead.
Then thought Daryl was dead.
Daryl, Abraham, and
Abraham and Sasha.
Thank you. Mind gone.
Yeah, I know. Sasha, it's a hard name to remember.
Yeah. But no, I'm wondering if they're going to lose, or if we're going to lose track of these characters and not kind of know what happened as well. And if this is going to be the redemption and disappearance season where we don't know what some of these characters are. And then when the Saviors, because I believe in the comic books, the first wave, you don't meet Negan right off the bat. Negan sends a bunch of his men to Alexandria to try to get in to talk to see, hey, maybe we'll kind of get a little thing going with these guys. And then when he realizes Rick means business, a bunch of these other characters mean business, and he can't manipulate them like he can't
intimidate them.
Yeah. He's going to go and be like, well, now I'm really going to show my force. And I'm wondering if Dwight's going to be a part of that first group that goes, because Dwight, I believe, is one of the higher up generals in Negan's army.
Yeah, he's basically Negan's Daryl.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if, and then because Rick, like in at Terminus, is kind of looking around, and all of a sudden he sees Dwight with the vest that Daryl has. He's going to be like, what did you do with our men? And that's going to give him initiation to attack, and that's going to be the more catalyst for Negan to get here.
Well, see, from what I remember from the comics, Negan finds out about Alexandria through Hilltop, which Hilltop is another survivor community that's not quite as advanced as Alexandria, but they've got walls, they've started to reestablish civilization.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to end up being what does it. I think once someone from Hilltop connects with Alexandria, Hilltop is already going to be under Negan's influence.
Yeah.
That's what's going to make the jump to Alexandria, and that's what's going to bring Negan all up in their grill.
Yeah, and I think that's another. I don't know, because don't they have to? I mean, I believe that they have to go through a couple character introductions beforehand, before they're allowed to like do that. Because then we still have to get through we have to be introduced to Jesus, which I think he's coming up this season.
I think Jesus is going to be in the next couple episodes.
And then
Ezekiel
is the guy that we thought was going to train Morgan, who it would have been cooler, but I liked Eastman.
Eastman was really, really fun.
Yes, Eastman was a lot of fun, but I would have loved to.
I wish he could have stuck around for about 4 episodes. I wish he could have made it to Alexandria with Morgan.
Yeah, but then I guess it wouldn't have made sense. Like, who's this guy, or is this I don't know. It would have been a different story, but I liked him, and I actually hope that, and I've said this before, and if Walking Dead ever listens to us, make webisodes of Eastman's journey for driving back and going through 30 miles of the dead.
I'd love to see that.
It would be beautiful. But I think The Walking Dead's really starting to gear up, and I think as soon as they introduce Negan, we're in for a long story arc and a long battle. Possibly because a time skip now in the comics.
I haven't read probably the last 10 episodes in the comics.
Okay.
But I know in the comics, Negan is still alive, but is being held prisoner.
Yeah, I could see them at least going maybe 4 seasons before that point.
Oh, easy.
There's a lot. And so, I mean, when Negan gets here, we're going to have a lot of stories, and it's going to be a commitment. And like you were saying earlier with Jeffrey
Dean Morgan.
Thank you. Kind of not being on the radar for Morgan or for Negan. It's, I don't know. For me, I take that as okay, yeah, he's not on the radar. Not a lot of people have been kind of looking at him as much as some of the Josh Hamm or something. But with a character as big as Negan, I could see The Walking Dead going above and beyond to even maybe fake recreate sets to just hide this information, because they're really good at all of a sudden pulling the wool over our eyes and misdirecting us. They took a lesson from Eastman. They can redirect us.
That's what scares me with the whole Glenn thing.
Yeah.
I am to the point they reverse psychology so much. I don't know if them scrubbing Glenn's name off the wall, because you notice they scrub Glenn and Nicholas. We know Nicholas is dead.
Yeah.
He put the gun to his head, said thank you, and brain sandwich. He's gone.
Yeah.
But they scrub Glenn's name off the wall of the dead too.
Yep.
But they also scrub Stephen Yeun's name from the credits.
And I noticed that last night, or last Sunday.
And it's been 2 episodes. But in the past, they've left Emily Kinney on after Beth died. They've left Scott Wilson on after Herschel died. And it's like, that doesn't mean anything. But then they scrubbed Glenn's name off. And, well, maybe we'll just never know. But, we're going to keep up hope. And, oh, God, there's that hope thing again. We're screwed. They're dead. They twist it so much. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And it makes me more excited. And it's interesting because the show's really, I think it's really coming in good. I'm liking season 6 quite a lot.
So am I. They've done really well with it. A lot of people complained about the Morgan episode, the flashback. This past week's episode got back a little bit more to form.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you basically started the episode with Deanna looking around and then hearing, "Open the gate!"
Yeah. Which everybody...
Oh, there's a crazy man running through a whole ton of, oh my God, somebody open the gate. You know, and they open the gate and crazy man's there.
Yep. Good old crazy Rick.
Ooh, and by the way, Rick is... If we're getting to the point where Negan's coming into play, Rick's got one too many hands and Carl's got one too many eyes.
Say, I talked a little bit before about I don't think Rick's gonna lose his hand. Carl losing his eye, I don't know. I talked about it, and I talked kind of what we talked about a little bit.
Yeah,
I thought
we had to talk in code because Shortmander was not wanting to get spoiled on this.
Yeah. I think it might be.
I have a feeling it's not going to be, because in the comics, Doug, which would be Deanna, is trying to take a shot and misses and hits Carl in the eye.
Yeah.
In this, a lot of people are speculating that Ron is going to have Rick train him how to use a gun and then turn around, use it on Rick. Carl's going to jump in the way, get shot in the face.
Yeah, and that's kind of what That's what I talked about. And like, could his motives be because he wants to protect his family or not? You can see him going both ways within this, because he watched his mom kill one of the wolves.
Yeah,
and
very brutally, I might add. Bravo, Jesse.
Yeah,
bravo.
And so I don't know where he's at right now. He's an enigma wrapped in a mystery with bacon sprinkles.
Yeah, but you throw the hormone sprinkles onto that, because you remember Ron used the line, "Well, Enid was my girlfriend," or at least I thought, right before their epic slap fight.
Yeah, but I don't know. I view that as just kind of teenage drama.
Yeah, but you got to think, man, if because Enid kind of seemed to have a thing for Carl, but then she was Ron's girlfriend. But, then she still had a thing. She went in Carl's house to be safe and left a note for Carl and not for Ron that we know of. And so, these two guys are getting into some serious level stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully
I could see Ron being, Ron's supposed to be about 16?
I think
15, 16. I could see the hormone-addled brain thinking, nope, I'm just going to shoot him. I'm going to shoot Rick because that'll get rid of, and then Carl, he'll go away because his dad's dead. I don't know, but I could see Ron saying, I'm going to shoot Rick, and Carl getting in the way of it.
Yeah.
Carl has proven he will do something extraordinarily crazy to protect his family and others.
Yeah. And so it's going to be interesting. I mean, how old's Carl at this point now?
I think Carl's like 14, 15, right around the same age.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. But, I think it? I mean, I'm sorry, I hate to cut you off.
I'm trying. Did you mention Denise and Tara?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That was the only other thing that I was like, yes. I really just... my wife called that prior to.
I also kind of mentioned that Denise and some other woman, I can't tell them apart, and I feel bad for that.
Oh, Denise and Olivia.
With the black hair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Olivia's the one in charge of the pantry and the guns.
Okay.
Denise is the psychologist who was going to be a surgeon.
Until they're on like the same scene again, like in the same scene, they're just the same person.
No, I can pick them apart. They do have similar physical appearance.
Well, not just that, they also, like, their faces look a lot alike.
Yeah, their faces are very, very similar. They both have a similar style of glasses. Are they
like legit twins? Like,
no.
Okay.
No.
I thought I was just being stupid for some reason.
No. They're not twins. They're not legit twins.
Okay, yeah.
They're not even illegit twins.
Yeah, I talked about them.
But I thought it was cool that Tara and Denise, because Tara has been... I think Tara may have had a thing for Denise, because if you notice, she's been kind of showing up.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's that.
I don't know if it was she had a thing, or it was just, I better keep an eye on her because of what she's done with Eugene.
Yeah.
She brought him from full-on coward to, my God, he was shooting things in the head to save her.
Yep.
Maybe she's hoping she can have the same luck with Denise, and then... that one very, very touching scene when she just kicks the book back to Denise and walks out, and then Denise opens it up and she's like, oh my God. And she ends up saving dude who got shot in the leg, and I can't remember his name, but he made it back.
Shot in the leg?
That was dude that got shot in the leg.
Okay, because for a second I thought it was Gabriel.
No. Gabriel has been very absent, and I'm waiting to see that change.
Yeah, I think that's going to change. There's so much more to this season, and I'm more excited. And I wish you could have came in a little bit earlier.
So do I. I did have things I had to do. I apologize. I was trying.
And that's fine. Sometimes that's just the way a cookie crumbles. But next week
we have cookies.
I wish. I want cookies. I'm starving right now. So thanks for that, Paul. But
no problem.
I think that's going to be it for now.
I think that's it.
That's it. Well, tune in next week because there should be more, and you can check on Facebook later tonight. That's facebook.com/STLDeadAir. This episode should be going up tonight, if not early tomorrow morning. Sometimes these episodes fly by, and I can edit them real quick and get them done. Other times they take forever and a day. So we'll see. But other than that, stay tuned to 89.5 The Wave because we got more awesome music coming up.
Tip should be in just a few, and he's ready to go.
Yep. So we'll be back next week. See you guys later.